I don't know what I'm going to say today. This pour is long and long, and all I am thinking about at this exact moment in my head is how long it is. So I'm probably just going to leave this in right now and just say, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 303 of 365 days of soap. Wild. And yeah, you're here for kind of a long pour today. So we are doing the final Amy Warden Soap Challenge of January, but not the final in totality because there are a lot more. There's a lot more fun and tediousness to be had, you know, throughout all of the years that she's been doing this, really. And we are doing the Tall and Skinny Shimmy. Tall and Skinny Shimmy. Hard to say, fun to say, sure. But yeah, so, and we're also testing out the very last scent for the Nurture soap testing review thing that we've been doing for the month of January too. So we are testing Avalon, which is a cool scent for sure. I didn't bring it home, but I will definitely talk about it in the video and all the things for sure. Now, Tall and Skinny, it's again, it's a long pour. It's not a particularly complicated pour. It's going to be like so much of the Amy Warden Soap challenges in that it's all about the fluidity of the batter, either too fluid, you have problems, or not fluid enough and you have problems. So it's all about finding that sweet spot. That sweet spot for this particular type of pour is very much right at emulsion. You want it very, very, very thin and fluid. So that's what we are going to do today. Today is my turn. We're gonna go check it out. I'm working with an ombre. I really should stop talking because it is a very long pour and we should get to it. So let's do that now. This pour isn't actually that long. I don't know why I was being dramatic. It's not really a super complicated pour, the Tall and Skinny Shimmy, but let's talk about it. Let's do the things while I spill kale and clay all over the place on my cool hardy gloves because PPE is tough to find. Yeah, so kale and clay, dispersed in water, going into this guy. And the scent blend is Avalon from Nurture Soap. So this will be the last blend that we review from Nurture. And yeah, excited for all the things. Now, for my Tall and Skinny Shimmy, I'm going with an ombre effect. So I only have one color mixed up, and it is a bluey color. And I am using this in an oil blend that's actually greeny, as you guys saw a couple days ago for the Tiger Stripes. It's a little bit greeny, so this will kind of go like a blue jean blue, more muted blue, because of the colors of my oils. So cool. Now, the Tall and Skinny Shimmy, like the biggest thing is, because you're pouring everything on an angle, and you are with each pass, you're then flipping the angle that you're pouring. So you're putting something on the other edge of the molds to prop it up, and then, you know, pour on the opposite side, all the things. And to really make it work, you really need a very thin batter for all the things. And I actually, as I was editing this, I think that, I don't know, I was having some weird fever dream or something when I was doing Georgia May's. Oh, see how fluid that batter is? It is like literally almost an emulsion. Not quite. It's almost there. No, I would say it's there. Just barely though. But, so yeah, really, really thin fluid batter for this. For sure. That's the trick. That's the key. That's the tea. All the things. And so, but anyway, I realized as I started editing this video and like doing the cuts and everything on it, honestly, I think during Georgia May's Tiger Stripe, I was having a weird fever dream. Because these all got poured on the same day for this week, right? And I really confused myself in the video, talking about my Tiger Stripe and the technique, and also referencing this pour, like the Tall and Skinny Shimmy. So that video, I went back to like go check it out and see if I could like make some edits or whatever, but I couldn't, and so it's all confusing. But if you were confused by a couple references, which I'll point out, you know, when we get to that point, that's why. I don't know what was going on. I guess I was just so excited because Georgia May's like Tiger Stripe was so gorgeous, and so my brain just like short-circuited. But yes, Tall and Skinny Shimmy. So first up, you need a very, very fluid batter. Second up, you actually do need some pretty precise measurements from section to section. Third up, you need a mold that is probably less wide than you're used to using. And I don't have one of those. Now, they had instructions within the Amy Warden Soap Challenge thing to like make one out of foam board. But I don't have foam board either. But I did have cardboard. So what I did is I actually took 2 pieces of cardboard and put them inside my existing molds, which are already reasonably thin anyway. My bars are like 2.5-ish inches wide by 3.25 inches tall. So my bars already are taller than they are wide. But so I didn't think that I really needed to modify the mold much, and so I didn't. So I put a piece of cardboard, like just off of an Amazon box, right, into the mold, and then lined the mold around the cardboard. And that just taking away like that, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch in totality between both sides. I think that'll be enough to actually accomplish what I'm doing for this guy, and like the overall effect of the Tall and Skinny Shimmy. Now, I'm going with 8 layers here, which is cool, sure. With this, I've seen some really cool Tall and Skinny Shimmies that do like take each of these 8 sections and then split them into like 4 additional colors, right? So that's like 32 total colors, passes in a mold. And those things look super stunning and awesome. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to, really. That's a lot of beakers to be out, but you can totally do that. You just have to take, you know, whatever. I think I put like 6 ounces of each of the things ish, then divide that out by whatever, all the things. So you can make it very, very complicated and take a long time, but in actuality, you don't mix it much because you want everything super thin, and then the pour itself is pretty fast because you want to keep everything super fluid, and so the pour itself does not actually take a whole lot of time. So I don't know why I was griping about that in the intro, because it's not really true. But again, like, I think I'm just fever dreaming with everything right now. I have no idea what's going on this week. Maybe it's because I hit 300, you know, days of things. And onto the pour of this guy. So I am just going to scent each section right before I pour it into the mold. That's what I'm doing. That's the whole plan for all of it, is just to keep the batter really, really fluid as long as possible. And everything with Nurture so far, with the exception of that strawberry thing, which was not the dancing funnel, it was the pipe divider, which I think I talked about wrong yesterday too. Seriously, what was going on with me yesterday? Crazy, 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 crazy person. All this stuff is running together. This is why we shouldn't make all of the soaps on the exact same day. Because like all the knowledge in my brain is like, ooh, what is this? Anyway, so you want to keep the batter as fluid for as long as possible. And so we have found so far with all the nurtures that we've reviewed that you totally, that the fragrance does tend to loosen up the batter pretty well to pour. So that's awesome. Now the consistency for a Tall and Skinny Shimmy, in order for it to work really well, I mean, the sort of idea is it kind of ends up looking like a rib cage or like a, whatever at the end. And in order to achieve that, you need to be able to, hold on, I got phone calls coming in. You need to be able to, your batter should be so fluid that it all slides out of the container that you're using, right? And so that level of fluidity. And I'm not quite there, but also I would never actually be there. A, because I've never actually seen that in my life, so I don't really think that's possible. But those were the instructions that were given. And two, I make clay soap, so even if it is possible, it's not going to happen with my soap because it's just thicker by nature. But there isn't much left in those containers. So it's a very good consistency now. It's very, very fluid. This is a very fluid, batch of soap. For sure. So yes, just scenting each little area as we need it is working wonderfully. Now with this, I actually pour the whole thing out with a really consistent motion so that we don't have any big, sort of bursts of colors before whatever. And then when I scrape it down off the side, I try to scrape it in such a way that the color that I just laid down almost hits the other side of the wall. So the wall that's currently propped up on the towel there. And so that's been the sort of goal with all of it, to have it scraped down and pushed over enough that it does its little slidey slide thing to the other side. Whether or not that's what you're supposed to do, I don't know, but it made sense to me. So that's what we were working with. Now, this color is actually very, very interesting because, again, it looks all greeny. And I really am hoping that I get more of a blue jean vibe with all of this. But my oil blend is really going to determine that and what the oil blend does in saponification, because there are a lot of green oils in this particular swirls batch, which kind of does make it difficult because we're moving into January into February, and moving out of January into February, and there are reds and pinks in February bars, and we've got a lot of green swirls master batched right now. But that's okay, because I'm sure we will be out of those very quickly and I'll have to master batch new ones and we'll put less green oils in. But yeah, so that so there's really not a lot to the Tall and Skinny Shimmy, as you can see. It's just knowing your color story. So again, we're doing an ombre from dark to light and pouring at a really good fluidity. And I'm wondering if I'm going to remember to scrape that side down before I do anything. I didn't do it. Wow. Wow. Fail. Not paying attention. It's Bush League, Mrs. Soap and Clay. But yeah, this will definitely go into the oven for C-Pop and gel. Because I am soaping at such a light, like it was barely at an emulsion barely at emulsification when I started mixing everything up, like measuring it all out and mixing it up with the colors. But I knew that the mixing of the colors would continue to thicken up the batter a little bit and, help out with the lye and the fatty acid chain breakdown and all the things. So it's all good. But just in case, I do want to get heat to it, because an additional heat cycle also really does help out, ensuring that your bar doesn't have any sort of lye heavy pockets anywhere. So that's totally what we'll be rolling with for, the saponification. But also I C-Pop all of my stuff, so it's just a thing. But yeah, so now I'm just going to put the rest of the soap batter that was left. And as you can see, not much from all of the containers. There's not much left. So it basically all came out nice and fluid. And just give it a nice little sculpted top, whatever. And then pop it into the oven where it will sit nicely, all warm and fun, overnight. And we will you know, cut into this and see what we are working with for the Tall and Skinny Shimmy design, and whether or not it looks like, you know, rib cages or whatever, all the jazz, you know, then tomorrow, but next video, next slide, really. So stay put, because the cut is coming. So don't go anywhere. The cut's coming. Okay, and on to the cut, and yeah, there's definitely some blue coming out in there, so I'm super happy about that. That looks nice. Definitely, we have some blue tones for sure, so far so good. I like it a lot. The Avalon scent is very nice. I would say it's definitely like a unisex scent for sure. It's bright, it's clean, it's good. That bar was crazy. Don't pay attention to my hands, that's a different story. Oh my god. What is that? So, none of these colors, these were all solid colors that I poured in. You remember that, right? They were all solid colors that I poured in. And it looks like each of the layers that I put in were swirled. Like I had done an in the pot swirl before doing whatever, and that did not happen. None of those colors were, yeah. And that looks like freaking chlorophyll. Like chlorophyll. You know, chlorophyll? Like plant? Yeah, like put it under a microscope and yeah, wow, that's very interesting, and I'm not 100% sure why. It's not glycerin rivers. It doesn't make sense that it would be glycerin rivers. Not like that. It doesn't look like glycerin rivers. It's not any real seepage from the fragrance as well. Like maybe I didn't mix the fragrance in enough, because there would be sort of wet pockets on these bars sort of suggesting that. The scent itself doesn't discolor, but the oils mixed with the blues, I don't know. I really don't know how this ended up doing this, but it's fascinating. Like I'm stumped. It's a beautiful bar of soap, like for sure, but wow, how did that do that? I'm stumped. Oh my god, those bars totally look like chlorophyll, right? Like that was amazing, and I don't know why it happened. I am stumped, and that doesn't actually happen a whole lot in the world, particularly the soap world. To me, this whole stumping thing, and I can't explain it. They're not exactly glycerin rivers. That wouldn't make any sense. I did soap just right before an emulsion. That's when I actually poured everything out, so that may be what's at play there. But regardless, the fully formed bars, they're perfectly fine and great and have a nice big bubble, and they're moisturizing. It's all the things, and it looks like chlorophyll. Like my little science brain just exploded when I cut that. Like that was the coolest thing ever. So there is my Tall and Skinny Shimmy, and I hope you had fun and learned some stuff about the pour, and maybe convinced you to, you know, do it yourself, because while it is a long pour and it is a little bit tedious, it's not that level of tedium that I'm like, nah, I'm never doing it again. Because I actually really do like Tall and Skinny Shimmies, or just the nature of like moving the mold from one side to the other. I dig that totally. So yes, Avalon scent's good. I'm actually wondering if that scent didn't have something to do with why it looks like chlorophyll. But we'll find out tomorrow in Georgia May's video, because she will be using the exact same scent, exact same oils, all of the things, and she will create her Tall and Skinny Shimmy. So if you would like to come back to see that, you should subscribe so you don't forget. For those of you who are subscribed, hey, thanks. You won't forget. That's awesome. I am done for today. I hope you guys had a great time. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.